It's the journey, isn't it? Whether it's your faith, whether it's your business, whether it's your relationship, we're not at the end. It is a journey, it's an open book, it's a story that's been told. ChatGPT talking to me when I hadn't asked it to. Robots everywhere. They say the first sign of madness is talking to yourself, and so yeah, that's what we should talk about. We should talk about the middle. It's that the internet and all the gurus often won't talk about, or they will talk about it, but they'll only talk about it once they've passed it and are successful, is the middle. The middle of the race, the middle of the rugby match, the middle of your career, the middle of your life, the middle of your spiritual journey. The middle. It's the part where everything happens. I've been having some really nice chats with my dad recently and hearing him reflect and talk into the middle a bit more. Because when you're in the middle, it's heavy. But the middle is where all the progress has been made, or where all the hardship has been lived, where all the resilience has been born, where all the mistakes have been made. And so I think it's that, what is it, St. Paul, you've got to run the race. And it is that attritional bit. And so we set out on a quest. I set on a quest years ago to run this business, and I've run it in various stages of success and not success, and various ways of it looking, and has achieved things and has had to be put on pause for real life and people's health, and that's the middle. I'm in the middle. I have no idea of whether this is going to pay off. I have no idea of whether this is going to be my life's work. I have no idea whether this is going to be the career that I thought it would be. I have no idea whether it's going to be the stability that I need. That's the middle. Keeping your head down as best as possible, trying to tick things off, trying to push things forward. But it isn't easy, and it doesn't come naturally. And don't get me wrong, this is not a gripe. This is encouragement. It's for the people that aren't taking off at supersonic speed and aren't achieving everything they think they need to achieve before they're 30. Stay in your lane, go at your pace, figure it out. But there is also a lot more to life than our careers. There's a lot more to life than the thing that makes us money. Money is a tool, money is a resource. It's not a case that money is a bad thing. But there is that temptation to only chase that and leave everything else behind. And that's when it becomes a problem. Life is multifaceted. Life is full of beautiful moments and experiences and people and learning opportunities. And you can have a wonderful life and no money. I've met plenty of people like that. You can have a wonderful life and no career. You can have a wonderful life and be a wanderer. And there's that story, isn't there? I think I've heard a couple of versions of it. One with like a Chinese fisherman where he's fishing and the American comes and is like, oh, you could have a fleet of trawlers, but there's one that I prefer that Sean was telling me, which is about surfers. Young surfers out in California, they've got no money, but they surf every day, they're loving the surf, and they work in the bar or whatnot to earn their lodgings so that they can go out and surf the next day. And there's some Californian businessmen, these older gentlemen who are retired, who've had really successful businesses, and they're coming along to just get into surfing, and they see these young men and they challenge them on the fact that they're wasters and aren't doing anything with their life. And they're saying, why don't you go make something of your life, make your money, and then you can retire early like us. The surfers challenge them back, and it's like, well, what are you doing now that you're retired? Oh, we're learning to surf. And it's that idea of, well, we're already doing that. And we're doing it whilst we're young, we're doing it whilst we have our health, we're doing it whilst we have our fitness. We're doing the thing that you now have the freedom to do after sacrificing so much in order to attain the same level of freedom. And I get it, again, as I was talking about extremes, that's an extreme example. But it is that sense of, let's not miss the wood for the trees, let's not run through life pursuing this thing that might potentially fail, that might potentially not bring us anything, which might potentially cost us everything. And then start doing the things we could have been doing the whole time. And I think that's the big thing for me with the business, is making it a lifestyle business. It has to fit around watching my family grow. It has to fit around achieving the little adventures that we can go on. And it's becoming content with that. It's becoming content with that. Whilst having all the ambition and all the drive and doing all the hard work, I'm going to be down for dinner at dinner time. The computer is going to go off at some point. I'm not going to be grinding all night when there's kids who want to watch a movie on a Friday night. I'm not going to be grinding all weekend when there's time to be spent, because that window of time you never get back. You never get back the window of time where your kids are growing up. Whereas I will get my own time back when they're older and they're off and they don't want to be around me. And that time will come, and I can fill that with as much nonsense as I want, but I won't get this time back. This level of influence, this level of learning for myself from them. And so, yeah, we're in the middle. I'm in the middle. The business is in the middle. The family is in the middle. My life is in the middle. My faith journey is in the middle. Now, there is the other fear of becoming completely stagnant and stuck and paralyzed with decision fatigue. And am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing by my kids? Am I doing the right thing by my wife? Am I doing the right thing by the family? And so, yeah, those decisions have to be made at some point. Plugs will have to be pulled, or injections of energy will have to be pushed. But I think it's important, as they always say, look up to smell the roses. I saw another clip on the internet the other day, which I really liked. And my dad was telling me another story similar to it, of his own experience of this. It was like, don't sweat the small stuff. And it's all small stuff. And yep, I know people go, well, it's like, it's not all small stuff. I'm not saying that there isn't huge amounts of suffering in everyone's life, some much more than others. But I think the point it's making is we in the West particular can sweat the small stuff and miss out on huge opportunities in life to just feel content, free, and at peace. Because we do not have the control that we perceive we have. We do not have the control over our lives that we perceive we have. Yes, on a small scale of choices, we get to decide whether we eat healthy or don't eat healthy, whether we exercise or we do not exercise, whether we work hard at our jobs or whether we don't work hard at our jobs. Those are the small decisions we make in life. But the sun comes up and the sun goes down, right? And this world is a spinning rock out in a universe where tragedies and unexpected things happen constantly. And so in that, don't sweat the small stuff. It's not saying don't be diligent and prudent and virtuous and all these things, but do not spend a life filled with the constant anxiety over things you can't control. I'm only speaking because I'm guilty of this. I'm only speaking about the fact that I fret over the small stuff constantly. This message is for me. The sun will rise and the sun will set, and then tomorrow we go again. But whilst we're over-obsessing, over-optimizing, overly distracted by everything that's going on, we have to get outside and smell the roses. And we have to engage with our families, we have to engage with our loved ones, we have to engage with our enemies, we have to engage with the people that don't agree with us. We can't just curate our lives so that it is perfect, and then when the tiniest thing comes along, we're completely floored by it. That my life is so curated, as soon as the power goes off, I don't know what to do. As soon as I can't have access to my iPhone, I'm bored. It's crazy talk. Yeah, I don't know. These are just musings from a man who, for years, been trying to figure out how to get it right. You know, learned loads of valuable lessons along the way by getting it wrong. But what I do know, I think, like, forgiveness is a huge key. Forgiveness of others, forgiveness of ourselves. You can't control other people's actions and choices. And so in that, it's that don't sweat the small stuff, because it's all small stuff.